We are in Portimao for the 2020 Portuguese Grand Prix, and who else other than Lewis Hamilton grabbing the pole position yet again for the 97th time in his career so far. He's gotten pole. Interestingly enough, throughout the weekend in free practice 1, 2, and 3, qualifying 1, qualifying 2, and in the first stint of qualifying 3, Valtteri Bottas was leading his rival Lewis Hamilton by the barest of margins. But when it counted the most, Lewis Hamilton came up with the goods like he does so often and snatched pole out of the hands of Valtteri Bottas. Now, Bottas made a tactical error going into the final runs of qualifying 3. Both these drivers had the option of going for 2 flying laps. Now, this particular circuit is a newly laid circuit, and the tire compounds available to the drivers this weekend are harder than what they usually are. Now, because they are harder, it takes more laps for the tires to get to the optimum point of performance, which is why Hamilton chose to do 2 flying laps in his final stint, and Bottas made the error of doing just 1 flying lap. And Hamilton pipped Bottas on his last run and took away the pole position that Bottas had been holding up and until that point. So, looking down further through the grid, P3 goes to Max Verstappen. I mean, he must be thinking at this point, "Ki boss, this is my Everest. This is what I'm going to aim for, and I'm going to try to build on this during the race," because the Mercedes cars have been so dominant. Each and every pole position throughout the season have gone to the Mercedes drivers more often than not. Only I think in a couple of races they have not managed to get a front row lockout during qualifying. So that has been their dominance. Red Bull are slowly but steadily catching up to the pace of the Mercedes, but they aren't yet there, at least in terms of the qualifying pace. So Verstappen in P3, P4, a very impressive Charlie Leclerc. This guy is doing things with that SF1000 that Seb Vettel, a 4-time world champion, is not managed to bring out of that particular car. Charlie Leclerc gets P4, a very impressive one at that. Sergio Perez gets P5. It is just bonkers that this man does not have a seat next year in any of the teams on the grid. He has been consistently performing for Racing Point throughout the year, and even after he was told that his services are no longer required past this season, he has still been delivering regularly for this team. I really hope that he does manage to get the team. P6, Alex Albon. Again, he is off the pace from Max Verstappen, approximately half a second further down. Now, Alex Albon's situation is very precarious. The Red Bull management team have said that they will give Albon time until the next 2-3 races, maybe Portugal, Imola, and Turkey, and then they will make a decision on what to do with Albon's seat. He's not yet confirmed for next season, so that is still an angle that is yet to be played, and Albon will have to stand up to make that position his own. Followed by Albon on the grid are Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris, Pierre Gasly, and finishing off is Danny Rick, who unfortunately could not get out for a qualifying 3 run because he damaged his car during Q2. Now, a special mention in the qualifying round would I have to give for George Russell. He managed to swing a P14. He got out of qualifying 1. He beat Seb Vettel to the flag, and in Q2 finished P14, and Vettel finished P15. This boy has been doing regularly very well with a not very competitive car in the Williams seat, and there are rumors right now that he might also not get to keep his Williams seat for next season, and maybe they'll bringing Sergio Perez for that Williams seat, which would be sad, but he is in the Mercedes drivers program, so his future is still secured in the larger scheme of things. But, alright, a very interesting qualifying session. I don't know what kind of overtaking opportunities will be there on this track. According to commentators and the experts, there is not going to be a lot of overtaking, especially on the first lap down in turn 1, because it's not that kind of a circuit where you'll be able to get that kind of grip on the first lap. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens on the flying lap. Lewis Hamilton, if he wins this race, he will start pulling away from Michael Schumacher's all-time record of he's currently equal with him with 91 victories each. He'll start moving ahead of him, so that is something to look forward to. Many more things. Alex Albon's performance will be of interest, and the most important thing, will Valtteri Bottas be able to pip Lewis Hamilton to get another victory so that he starts mounting the challenge in the Drivers' Championship? Mercedes have more or less locked up the Constructors' Championship. They could technically, maybe if certain things go their way mathematically, they can still lock down the title in this week. But if not this week, I'm sure in the next couple of races they will do that with utmost ease. Okay, so that's about it from the qualifying debrief kind of a thing. Let's go out and watch the race today. And yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow and see what happens. That's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Let's watch the race. See you guys again tomorrow.